Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the next little segment here in this project we got going on, known as the firehouse scratch build. So tonight, I thought instead of just showing you what I did, I'm gonna do what I told you I did on the other doors for this build. And let's pull them out and remind you what they look like. So there's where the doors look like completed. I am going to be doing a wash over this building, but I'm going to do it after it's fully assembled, like all four walls. So, and then I'll do another update on that. I do have 3 walls all done with windows except for the doors. There's supposed to be glass that goes in these doors. I don't have the glass installed just yet, but there will be glass going into those. In fact, yep, this is 3 of the 4 walls. Yep. This is the only one that does not have windows in it yet, but this week it will get done. But tonight I wanted to kind of go through my process of how I explained last time with the India ink. This one's made by Speedball. It's super black India ink. I'm going to be using white spirit, and then I'll show you how we apply it. First, let me get this to a flat spot here where I can actually do better for you guys. Alright, and then we'll just see how well this works here. I'm trying to do this on the board I did all my other stuff on, so there we go, without cutting my workspace down. Okay, so what I do is I take a little bit of the AK, move this out of the way, and I'm going to use about 5 mil or less. This does not take a whole lot, like probably like just like that. That's probably like 2.5 mil. About that much. It's about half of 5 mil. So in that cup. And then what I do is I take like very little, like I mean extremely little amount of the Indie ink. First I shake it up really well, and then I got to clean out this lid because it got a little bit of crusties in it that keeps it tight. So what I do then is show you what I do is I just take my brush and I dab like that, and then and that's not enough. So what I do is I skim right off the surface here. I didn't even get it down in there. A little lower than what I thought it was. So now that we get that in there, we'll just dab it in that. What that does, the brush actually absorbs most of it. So you don't really need a lot for this process. So, and then you're almost like dry brushing it almost, but the brush actually absorbed enough of it, so I'm not really touching or pressing. I'm just going to drag it over it. But you see how that left a thing? So I just did this. It goes on a little heavy, the way I do it. Trust me, it will come out looking pretty good. So I get the ink to go on with a little bit of a mixture, and then what I do is as I brush it, I'm also wiping it off down here. And I'm going back and forth with the spirits, and I'm thinning it out. Because the technique and the darkness it gives, I'm just kind of doing it back and forth like this. It thins it out, but I just like the look it gives for me. I've always been the type of person that goes on a little heavy on my stuff, and then I just back off until it fades out enough to where it just has that right appeal for me. You know, there's probably lots of ways it can be done, and in my opinion, none of them are wrong. Now see the difference. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see the difference. This one has the ink on it still, and this one doesn't. And I'm leaving some, it just fills in the cracks. And so that's all I'm doing is I'm getting it in the brush, and I'm just taking my brush with the mineral spirits, and I'm just brushing over it. And it's thinning it out. And when it does that, it's actually filling in the cracks, and it's actually aging the wood. It doesn't take a lot, as you've seen. Now, this is an old building, so it's going to have some aging to it, dirt to it, grime to it. So when I'm done, I'm going to do like a light wash over the whole building and stuff like that. I'm not trying to match every door. Now, I'm going to do this just so you can see the comparison just a little bit. Yeah, and that's when before and after. So before it dries, that I just did, and after is on the actual building. So when these dry, they'll have a hint of black to them. But that's why I thin it out, and everything's different, because different pieces of wood age differently. They color differently. They warp and not warp. You know, they just show their age differently. And the only way to capture that is like this. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm kind of wanting one side darker than the other, and then we're going to do a wash over this whole building and whatnot. Now, you can go as dark or as light as you want. I was considering to do white. I have a Hunterline white that stain that does good too, but These are plastic, so it just wouldn't, unless you really thin it down, it would not look very well on the doors or the windows. So we're just doing the, I did acrylic or alcohol markers on the building and alcohol ink for the stain. And then I did on here, I did the ginger stain over the spray paint that I did for the base primer. And then now that these have had dried for several days, this is now going to be the top coat black ink stain. And then when that dries and is on the building, I will do a wash. And the reason why I'm going to do it on the building is because when the building's assembled and you apply the wash, it will run down the building and create a aged look. And then at that point, I will going to be using a thing called Worn Effects by AK. I've never used it before. So, as I said before, I like using my scratch builds as test canvases because it's a great way to learn how they work and also to find cool effects. And if it doesn't work, you can always put it on your shelf and admire what you have done and be reminded of what not to do. I don't always have scratch material at the moment, so that's what I do. Is I come up with a design for a scratch build and test products out that way that have used very little. And in this project, this is one time I can do that. Worn Effects is designed to show age and worn effects, as it says. So I've seen good views out there on the product. I've seen before and after photos, so we'll see how well it works on here. But with that, this is dried enough so I can show you without it running. I'll try to see if I can set this up under the light so you can see. And then I'll move the camera up. Okay, so the camera, the light is really creating, they're still a little wet, so they have a little bit of a sheen on them, but that is the doors right there. They have a nice dark ginger color, or they had a ginger color that went on, and then they had the when it dried, it was kind of a light, made it a light color. Now I added the ink to it, and it just adds that, like, almost like a old Western age blackness to the doors, just from age. When it dries, it'll have the hint of black because it was thinned out, and every time you apply it, it's different. So in this case, I'll have a mix of doors. One side probably darker, the other side lighter, but I will probably see how it all runs down after this, because once these get installed, I get one more wall of windows done. We will definitely be done with the installation phase. We can move on to the wall weathering phase after we get the walls assembled. And so that part of it is going to be the fun part, because on the back side, as I said, this will all be done as well, because the doors you're gonna be able, I'm gonna be putting some fire trucks or whatever on the inside, and it's gonna be looking pretty see-through because of the windows. So so on that, we're gonna call that this video for this week. I am now about ready to assemble these walls. So I just got this wall here. For glass, I got the doors to get done and the other doors to install. So later this week, we should have a video for you guys on the look of how it has come together. And we might be able to do the update video with the overcoat of weathering, is my hope. So other than that, we're gonna call it a week. So you guys have a good New Year's this week, as it is Tuesday, Wednesday, just like Christmas. It's a holiday. But you guys be safe out there. I only get Wednesday off, so I work 4 days this week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But you guys enjoy the holiday, whatever it is you guys are going to do. And we will see you here on Thursday evening. We'll talk to you guys later. See you later. Bye.